Shallow versus deep breathing. Key differences explained. Picture this. You are sitting in traffic on the freeway. Frustration rising as the minutes tick away. Instead of gripping the steering wheel tighter, you pause and let the breath sink into your belly. In that moment, you shift from tension to awareness. Or imagine lying in bed after a long day, your mind spinning with tomorrow's tasks. Rather than scrolling through your phone, you close your eyes, place a hand on your abdomen, and guide the breath slowly in and out. What begins as a simple act becomes a ritual of release, a signal to the body that it is safe to rest. If shallow breath is like living on the surface, then deep breathing is the gentle invitation to step into the ocean of life itself. When we breathe deeply, the breath travels down into the belly, filling the body with oxygen and releasing tension we may not even realize we are holding. Deep breathing is not complicated, but it carries the power to change the rhythm of both body and mind. 1. Shallow breathing, the unseen enemy of rest and healing. Most of us do not notice how we breathe. We wake up with a cup of coffee in hand, rush through traffic, answer emails, and by the time evening comes, we are carrying the weight of the entire day inside our chest. What we rarely realize is that in moments of stress, our breath becomes shallow. It rises only to the chest, quick and tight, as if the body is bracing for something dangerous. Shallow breathing is not just a habit, it is a signal that we are living in survival mode. In modern American life, especially for those between 40 and 65, shallow breathing has almost become the default. Bills to pay, news headlines that spark anxiety, family responsibilities that never pause, all of these pressures create a body that forgets how to rest. Shallow breath keeps the nervous system on edge, telling the brain to stay alert even when we long for sleep. This is one of the hidden reasons why so many people lie awake at night, turning from side to side, wondering why their body refuses to let go. From the Zen perspective, shallow breathing is like living only on the surface of life. Imagine standing at the shore of a vast ocean but never daring to step into the water. The surface may look manageable, but it does not nourish us. In the same way, shallow breath starves the body of oxygen, weakens emotional resilience, and leaves us restless. Without noticing, we begin to age not only in body but also in spirit, carrying tension as if it were part of our identity. Science confirms what Zen masters have taught for centuries. Studies show that shallow breathing is directly linked to increased stress hormones, higher blood pressure, and insomnia. But beyond statistics, think of the last time you faced a difficult day. Your chest tightened, your breath became quick and short. You may have tried to relax by watching television or scrolling your phone, but the tension did not leave. This is the unseen enemy of rest and healing. To begin the journey toward true rest, we must first recognize the patterns of our breath. Shallow breathing is not who we are, it is simply a habit, a shadow. By becoming aware of it, we open the door to something deeper, something that will lead us into healing, sleep, and peace. 2. Deep breathing, a Zen path to sleep and emotional healing. If shallow breath is like living on the surface, then deep breathing is the gentle invitation to step into the ocean of life itself. When we breathe deeply, the breath travels down into the belly, filling the body with oxygen and releasing tension we may not even realize we are holding. Deep breathing is not complicated, but it carries the power to change the rhythm of both body and mind. Think about the moments when you have sighed after a long day. That one long exhale, almost unplanned, is your body's way of saying, "I want to rest." Deep breathing is simply the conscious practice of extending that sigh into a steady rhythm. For many Americans in midlife, this simple act can become a bridge to better sleep, lower stress, and even emotional healing. Zen teachers describe the breath as the gateway to presence. When you inhale deeply, you are not just filling your lungs, you are anchoring yourself in the present moment. The past with its regrets and the future with its worries lose their grip. If only for a few breaths. This is why deep breathing is often called a natural meditation. Without any equipment, without needing to travel anywhere, you can return to a state of calm simply by choosing to breathe with awareness. Modern medicine echoes this wisdom. Research in the United States shows that deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of us designed for rest and repair. This means heart rate slows, blood pressure eases, and the brain begins to release chemicals that support relaxation and sleep. People who practice deep breathing before bedtime often report falling asleep faster, waking up fewer times during the night, and feeling more restored in the morning. But the benefits go beyond the physical. Deep breathing creates space in the emotional body. When grief, anger, or anxiety rise up, the practice of taking steady, mindful breaths is like opening a window in a crowded room. The air changes, and suddenly we have room to be with our feelings without being overwhelmed by them. This is emotional healing through breath. In Zen we say, "The breath you take consciously is the breath that takes care of you." As you practice deep breathing, you are not forcing sleep or demanding peace. You are simply creating the conditions where sleep and peace arrive naturally, like guests who feel welcome in your home. Before we move into the final part of today's journey, I want to offer you a small but meaningful suggestion. If something in these words has touched your heart, if this message resonated with you, help us kindly press the like button. Your support helps spread peace and wisdom to others. Then consider gently pressing the save button and adding this video to your watch later playlist. Think of it as placing a smooth stone in your pocket during a quiet walk, a reminder you can return to whenever life feels heavy, or when your mind longs for stillness. With one click, you create a path back here without the noise of searching, without the rush of time. Later, when the world outside is too loud, you can simply open that list, and this space will be waiting, calm, familiar, ready to meet you again. Let's continue with the next part. Free. Zen wisdom, integrating breath into everyday American life. The real question is not whether we understand the difference between shallow and deep breathing. The question is, how do we weave this wisdom into the fabric of our daily lives? In America today, where schedules are packed and the noise of the world rarely stops, The practice of Zen breathing can become a lifeline. It does not require a monastery or hours of meditation. It begins with one breath. Wherever you are, picture this. You are sitting in traffic on the freeway. Frustration rising as the minutes tick away. Instead of gripping the steering wheel tighter, you pause and let the breath sink into your belly. In that moment, you shift from tension to awareness. Or imagine lying in bed after a long day, your mind spinning with tomorrow's tasks. Rather than scrolling through your phone, you close your eyes, place a hand on your abdomen, and guide the breath slowly in and out. What begins as a simple act becomes a ritual of release, a signal to the body that it is safe to rest. Zen teaches that every breath is an opportunity to return home to yourself. For those between 40 and 65, this truth carries a special weight. It is the season of life when we begin to value inner peace more than constant achievement. When health, relationships, and emotional balance matter more than climbing another rung on the ladder. Deep breathing, practiced throughout the day, becomes not just a sleep aid but a way of living with presence and gratitude. This is where shallow versus deep breathing shows its deepest meaning. Shallow breath keeps us tied to the surface, restless and unsatisfied. Deep breath opens the body, calms the heart, and reconnects us with the part of ourselves that is timeless. It is not just about sleeping better tonight. It is about living fully each day. Awake yet at ease, strong yet soft, grounded yet open. The journey of breath is the journey of life itself. As you begin to notice the rhythm of your breathing, you begin to notice the rhythm of your being. May each deep breath bring you closer to rest, to healing, and to the quiet joy of simply being alive. If you found peace in this reflection, I invite you to join me on Buddhism in You. Subscribe and continue this journey of inner growth, balance, and mindful living. Together, we can breathe deeper, sleep better, and walk through life with a calmer heart.